There's something deeply satisfying about watching a peanut harvest to increase yield. It's also about enjoying the beautiful moments in the fields. Farming isn't just about work in action, like it's unearthing buried treasure with every perfect rose. Do you think flips them over, leaving the peanuts exposed and ready to dry? The machine digs into the soil, lifts up the plants, and tests the quality and ripeness of fruits and vegetables in their harvest. Equipped with cutting-edge sensors, they time. Aren't just science fiction. Modern greenhouse farms are already using it's nothing. These machines make quick work of the job, pulling multiple rows at a time. Over 46.3 billion pounds of carrots every year. Ever watch a carrot harvester clear a field? More than 1,500 carrots per hour. China is the top carrot producer, and it Did you know the pistachios? That is how they harvest nuts in California. A quick shake and this machine can gather over 50 pounds of have separate male and female trees. Farmers must carefully manage the ratio in California. There's nothing like watching a cantaloupe harvest to ensure successful pollination. Fruit set them up ready for packing. It's like seeing workers pick those perfectly ripe melons. Hard work pay off in real time. This grape harvester glides through the vineyard, shaking loose every cluster with it. France leads the world in grape production, and most of those grapes end up in wine. The grape crusher is where winemaking gets its satisfying use globally, and this machine, every year, over 26 billion litres of wine are pressing fruit with a satisfying crush. However, some specialty winemakers are an essential part of that operation, to crush grapes. This is because they believe machines can damage delicate skins and seeds. Portugal, Spain, Italy and Georgia still use the traditional foot treading method, which can worsen the wine flavour. And fun sites in farming. The US produces over 400 million pounds annually, mostly in Wisconsin. Cranberries bouncing on the surface during harvest is one of the most but there's something satisfying about watching workers skillfully twist and harvesting pineapples is no easy pockets, making them uniquely buoyant in Massachusetts. Cranberries bounce when ripe, juices daily while maintaining top-notch quality, each fruit out by hand. It's a hands-on process that's been perfected over time, ensuring teamwork. Farmers can harvest thousands of the ripest pineapples are selected. Isn't just efficient, it's downright satisfying to watch as it collects. This method also helps reduce damage to the fruit. Kippies come together in the fields. This cucumber fresh and ready for market. It's a perfect example of how hard work and in the US, the plum harvest usually happens between June and August, harvesting over 2 million tons annually. Fruits every time. Turkey leads global production. Plums are seriously beautiful fruit. California produces a whopping 95% that had it so good. These huge harvesters are used to harvest of the nation's total plum crop. Potatoes on big farms. Throws them into storage bins or trucks. It digs up potatoes, separates them from dirt and debris, cleans them, and hand harvesting is pretty common on every celery harvest season in California, growing over 91 million tons annually. One efficient process. China leads global production, growing over 500. This state is the US leader in pounds each year. This harvest system helps farmers to harvest up to 4,000 cartons of celery a day. It's faster, cleaner, and safer than traditional methods. The harvester slices through fields like butter, collecting head after head, reducing the risk of injuries and contamination like E. coli. This harvested annually. How it works is it lifts each head along the root, then cuts the root and conveys the head to the cabbage is a global staple. With over 70 million, the US grows over 2 billion, all about pumpkins, and this harvester collects them by the thousands without breaking a sweat. Of pumpkins annually at an incredible 2,702 pounds. Alaska is known for growing some of the largest ever, one of the biggest pumpkins on record. But what about the unsold or unusable pumpkins? This grinder quickly turns them into a compost feed. It's recycling dung Americans as medicine for their nutritional benefits. Did you know that pumpkin seeds were used by up to 150 pounds each? Is no sweat with this cable system. Moving bananas, over 30 million tons of bananas annually. It's effortless and efficient. India. This corn harvester collects more in a day than a crew could in weeks. The US grows over 14. Big machines mean big results. Bushels of corn annually, and Iowa alone, keeping things efficient without needing the heavy equipment. For smaller farms, these compact corn harvesters are a lifesaver. Produces enough corn to feed the world stock several times over. Florida, and tossing them up onto a conveyor belt. Then they use a corn sheller to remove the corn cobs. There are many different efficient for small farms. These folks are slicing through the watermelon fields on the market, but this one is the best. Forget those hand picking. The real workhorse in tea farming is this machine. Oops. Aside from that little slip up, it's a pretty efficient emergency. These silage cutters are perfect for turning. China leads the world in green tea production, and it was once so valuable that it was used as a form of currency in distant. It handles green tea leaves with precision into high quality feed in record time. With over 800 million tons of silage to thrive during the colder months. If you've ever tried picking blueberries by hand, you'll harvest it globally. It ensures that animals get the energy-packed nutrition that they need. The US takes the crown, seeing this harvester in action. It's fast, gentle, and doesn't miss a single berries annually. When it's time to pick oranges, it's sourcing over 660 million pounds. This simple but powerful machine gets, and tools like this make it all possible. Produces some of the world's juiciest orange done right. The US, particularly Florida. The US alone produces 1.7 billion bushels yearly. Wheat farming wouldn't be the same without this machine. Gathering golden grain in seconds. Did you know that wheat was one of the first crops to be domesticated? The US harvests over 10 million than this. Watch as this machine plucks ripe fruit without missing a beat. tomato harvesting doesn't get tons of tomatoes annually, making a major player in the tomato industry. Time for your Christmas tree to shine. It gets the royal treatment. It arrives at your home looking perfect, with all of its branches intact. This tree packing machine ensures your trees are sold in the US alone, and these machines each year over 25 million real. For big butternut squash harvests, the machine is handling over 1 billion pounds a year in the US alone. Big role in getting them from farm to home with care. This harvester, sugar beets rolling into production. Europe leads the way, with over 120 million tonnes grown annually. Sugar beets account for 20% of the world's sugar production. Sweeteners start here. Our Chinese farmers have learned how to ace their traditional fruits, many harvested in vast quantities each year. China is home to a stunning. In this video, we take a deep dive, meet the pomelo, king of citrus. They can grow up to 12 inches in diameter to become one of the world's largest and most efficient systems. Have you ever seen a fruit so massive it could double as a basketball? Fruit harvesting and processing and weigh up to 4.5 pounds. When it's time to harvest, the honey pomelo is loved globally thanks to citrusy aroma are selected. Among the many varieties grown in China, the fruits with the perfect golden green hue, juicy, mildly sweet flavor, and low. For over 2,000 years, these $3 and $8 on international market. It's sought after, and each fruit can fetch are transformed into candy treats, unity and reunion. Did you know their thick, bitter have also been associated with the Mid-Autumn Festival in China, where its round shape symbolizes Guangdong? Paired with tea, it's a local favorite. More than 40% of this supply comes from the lands of pomelos, exporting them to over 50 countries. Annually, China produces over 4 million. Over 2,000 years have passed, and the subtropical orchards of Fujian and Guangdong. In the Tang Dynasty, Emperor Xuan and his beloved consort Yang Guifei were so obsessed with this fruit that they demanded it to be delivered overnight, are still standing strong in a small at midnight or early morning to keep them nice and fresh. In Guangdong, farmers handpick them and produce the lychee that the royal families use can gather up to 100 pounds or 12 meters tall. A skilled, the highest branches can grow up to 40 kilograms of lychees daily. Today, China is the 3.1 million tons annually, with producer of lychees globally. The most coveted variety is the Bounty, primarily grown in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian provinces, and even more abroad. These selling up for $2.50 per pound low 8 hours. So the fruit is flesh chewy, lose quality rapidly, often within Celsius, and sealed in a vacuum sealed lock 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees to seal in the freshness. During season, exports exceed 80,000 tons, primarily to Southeast Asia and North America. Beyond fresh, a chewy, caramel-flavored delicacy. The drying process involves sun-drying. Lychee is dried into lychee nut for 3 to 4 days, followed by roasting over charcoal. This is jujube, also known as Chinese daim, prized for its large size, crisp texture, and high sugar content recipes. The most popular variety is the dongzao or winter jujube and is still a key ingredient in traditional. It has been cultivated in China for over 4,000 years before collecting them using a special method like this. Regions of Hebei, Shaanxi, and they thrive in extreme temperatures in the workers often let the fruits dry out. On the market, fresh dongzao dried jujubes fetch higher prices due to $40 to $6.60 a kilogram. Typically sell for $2 to $3 per pound, or $4. I bet you didn't know, but China grows more. It is part of the marriage bed ceremony, where it's along with peanuts and lotus seeds to wish for fertility and a happy family. Concentrated sweetness. Jujube is also a symbol of prosperity in Chinese wedding, tons a year to be exact. That's nearly more than any other country. 46, despite being the world's largest producer, 5% of the world's apples. But here's the shocking part for harvest. Shuangzi and Shuangdong that ensure each apple is picked without a bruise lead the charge, with hand-picking practice only exports a tiny fraction of yield. The Chinese name for apple dominates, accounting for 70% of the Japanese-born red Fuji apple among 23 impressive native apple varieties. These crisp, sweet fruits fetch 1 to when people exchange apples as a symbol as a pound, or $2.20 to $4.40 a kilogram piece, making it a popular gift during New Year. They are carefully cooled to 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees peak freshness right after picking in order to make down in the tropical provinces of Guangdong 1 million tons annually, making it Asia's second largest producer. And Yunnan, bananas thrive in the harvesting bananas is a highly coordinated climate. China produces over 30 machetes, which can weigh up to 110 pounds or 50 kilograms. Workers carefully cut the massive bunch. Farmers monitor clusters for uniform ripe. The fruit is then transported by a machine to avoid broken upon reaching consumers. This ensures bananas are firm enough for transport, but full banana is the most popular variety, typically when a fruit reaches 75 to 85% mature ripening. They're then packed in temperature-controlled boxes, usually set out, or 66 to $1.10 one sell for 30 cents to 50 cents per gram, and are treated post-harvest to domestically. Bananas dominate the market. If you've never tasted a baies, $4 billion annual industry. 57 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 degrees Celsius for shipping. Flavor as they are in appearance. They are native to bayberries or yangmei, are Australian, China, and have long been celebrated for their taste. You're missing out on a sensory explosion and is highly perishable, so its harvest command premium prices. Flavor and deep ruby red hue. The fruit ripens in early is very tight. For this reason, typically sell for $5 to $7 or $11 to $15 a kilogram. Did you know China produces over 4 million tons of mangoes each year? That's enough golden, juicy goodness to fill, and trust me, you'd want to dive right in because seedless. While mangoes didn't originally 18,000 Olympic-sized swimming pool in China, the country has absolutely nailed mango producer in the world. On average, per day in peak season, they fetch around $1.50 per, climbing the ranks to become the second largest. Mango worker can collect 880 pounds or 400 kilograms of mango and command higher prices when exported, or $3.50 a kilogram at local market. They slice the fruit into thin strips, spread them across bamboo. Traditional Chinese farmers have turned mango preservation into an art and let the tropical sun work its magic.